Hello, you beautiful people. We're doing an interesting live stream tonight. Interesting mostly because I think I may be able to hit that the elusive 1,000 subscriber mark. And I want to take a minute. I'm going to do a stream specifically about it when I do hit it. But I want to thank everybody for being here, for supporting me through this. I did a video a little while back about my reasoning behind doing the whole YouTube thing. And it's enjoyable. There are a lot of reasons why I do this, and I'm glad that it's helping a lot of you out. So thanks for being here. I'm doing this a little bit differently. I'm using this space here for, that's a live count, so hopefully it hits the 1K tonight. Okay, so I want to do some music, and what I did is I started this track on Ableton Move today, and I realized I hadn't used it in a while because I think it was a live stream that I did. Yeah, it was for 1.6 where you were finally able to take your stuff from Ableton Move and bring it into, like, download it, and then you were able to re-upload it. And we weren't able to do that before with Move Manager. You were able to take it off of there. You weren't able to get it back on. So I downloaded everything. I had, I think, 60. I always get mixed up. Is it 30? Yeah, 32. So I guess I had about 30 different projects or sets going. So I took them all off, but when I turned the Move on today, and it's been maybe a week or two since then, I was like, there's nothing there. Like, I'd sort of forgotten that I'd removed everything. So it was sort of nice to see the Move with nothing on it. Like, just, it's almost like you're starting over from scratch. But anyways, I was working on this track. I brought it in straight from there. So I listened to it for a second just to make sure it worked, but I actually haven't really listened to it. We're making deep house, and we'll see where this ends up. From what I heard, I made this track just with the Move speakers, and if you have Ableton Move, you'll know that the speakers are just, they're horrible. Like, really, they're just not good at all. But so you're never sure what it'll sound like. I didn't have the headphones plugged in. So anyways, I think it sounds okay as a start. So this is what we have. And I'm actually impressed. So I'm just going to go through it and see what we have here. Okay, so hi Goose, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. And so okay, let's go through what we have. So I used a 909 kit. Oh, and by the way, you guys might have seen my Drumazon video or videos. I'm not sure how many I did, but which I love as a 909 emulation. But I also got the Rolling Cloud 909 this week. So I'm going to do a video about the 909, the Roland one, but I'm actually going to do a versus video comparing the two. There are some huge differences, and one of them does win out. So we'll go through that as soon as I can. I want to play around with the 909 a little bit more before I do it, but I had a good chance to play around with it. There's a lot of stuff missing in there, but still, the sound is good. Okay, so I use the 909 kit that's on Ableton Move and that's in Ableton, which sounds really good. And let's just solo it here. Let's just see what we have here. Just a very simple pattern. So we've got the drum, the drum, the clap and snare together, the hi-hats here, and a couple of them just jumping in here, a rim shot and a tom. Very simple bass line. And I think this is actually the bass line itself was just, you know, when you start a project on Ableton Move, it just it loads it right away, and it just selects 4 things at random. So I think I just took what it did pull up. Doesn't even say what synth pop bass. I love the sound of this, so it worked really, really well for this. And then this one here has got a couple of chords. And it's weird because this one feels like the velocity is like way lower, but... And one thing I did notice through here, and some of these have effects on them, but one thing I did notice with this is it's not always the same. I added this delay to it, but it's just that longer delay, but it's not doing a whole lot. But it's weird because you do have variations. Like every time it plays a little bit differently, and I haven't been able to figure out why. It's weird. I don't know. There's something weird about this. I thought it was... If we bring these up... No, actually the velocity is all the way up already. So anyways, I like the sound of this. And then this one here is just a little ear candy type thing. And what is a synthetic flute? Which is weird because it doesn't really sound like a flute. And, oh no, this is the one I think that I added the delay to. The other one had it already, but anyways. So we're gonna add a little bit of stuff to this. Let's see here. Let's figure out what we can do. I'm gonna want some sort of a vocal, not a vocal, but just almost a vocal chop. Am I streaming on Twitch? That's an interesting question because I did very, very early on, and I do have my account there for streaming. I think it's Luke Terrio Official, but the same thing is here, like my name on here, but official at the end. But yeah, I think I'm going to start doing both again, but I haven't been streaming there for a very long time. But it's sort of funny that you say that because I've been looking at that lately to either do a few DJ sets here and there or stream some of this stuff. But if there's, I don't know, if you'd like to see it on there, I'll hop on there at some point. I think I'll do one of those multi streams at some point. But right now, lately it's been just YouTube. And so I'm gonna want a vocal in here. Let's search Vox. Okay, we're gonna get tired of this loop if we play it the whole time, but I just want a vocal, and it can actually be almost anything because I'm gonna...
You see,
we're gonna pitch it down, probably. I think I may actually have used this in some... Okay, you know what? We're going to do this. So we're going to create a MIDI track. And if you drop a wave sample in a MIDI track, it goes automatically to... it loads a simpler with that in it. And then we can do the slice. I may not even do the slice on this. I may just use a little part of it. Let's see. We'll want this, but I will want to... I'm going to do Complex Pro, and then I'm going to pitch it down. So we'll transpose it. Oh. So every time you use Complex Pro, I don't know. I always have to bring the format down to 0. But no, I don't like this sound.
It looks.
The rolling landscape of the world.
Sounds a little bit like my voice.
Travel with me to some of the most beautiful spots in cities around.
You can tell I've never even loaded those sounds. Like they didn't even have this. Every time you load something in Ableton, it'll, unless you turned it off, it will put this little thing here where it figured out the timing or whatever in it. So
Just as long as we're good, baby.
I think we might be able to get something from here actually. So we're going to do slice, and I'm going to bring the sensitivity down so the slices are a little bit longer. Actually, that one we might be able to use. So we're going to drench this in reverb, and what do we use? This is my go-to. You guys probably know this already, but this ROM, like, this is the one reverb. If I was stuck on an island and I could only have one reverb, it'd be this one. And it's funny because it's free. Well, it's basically free. Like, it was free for a while, then it wasn't, and now you can get it if you get Complete Start. It's part of that. It's worth getting. Like, this is just that main, like, that initial preset. If I remove this, you can tell how much it adds. And this is, like I said, it's just that initial preset, which I end up using a lot of the time. Like, sometimes I won't even change it. I'll change a few little settings here and there, but no, we want something bigger than that. Let's go for large. Okay, I think we might be able to use this. Let's see. Trying to figure out, I just quantized it, but it might be good just a little bit before. It's almost one's too far, one's not far enough. Let's just move it over here. Okay, we might be, I'm actually going to lengthen this. Let's just make this 8. I should be able to. We don't want those nearly that loud, but let's see if the velocity affects it. Okay. We don't want it over and over, so actually we might want to get okay, I'm going to bring this back to 4. We're going to duplicate this, but I think I'm going to remove these last ones here. Actually, this next one, I think we're going to put it a bit further away. It's almost like you're listening to it and you're like, oh, it's not there. And then it jumps at you. By the time your thought is, oh, it doesn't repeat there it is. If that makes sense. Okay. So what I always like to have in something like this, you know what? We're going to have to save this right now because, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I always want to have a string on here, and you won't hear this too much. It's just you'll notice this in a lot of Deep House. If you've been watching my streams, you've probably seen this a bunch of times. But yeah, so let's just do. It doesn't even really matter that much. Like what we just need a big legato, like long string, like nothing like this. We're gonna do something to it to make it. So we don't want this because we want something where there's no variation throughout. You know what? We're gonna go with. I might even. There's a BBC Orchestra. That's another plugin. If you want a free plugin, that will do some really interesting sounds, orchestral stuff. This sounds amazing, and it's completely free now. You used to have to get it, and then you had to fill out a survey, and then after a week they sent you a code or whatever. But now it's just completely free. You can have it. Okay, so we're going to use this string here, but it won't be super loud. So let's record this. Okay. And we're going to do this. We're going to make it really long. So we'll do, well, really long. We'll go to 8, and then we'll hit legato for that note. So it goes the whole time. We're going to bring it down. I'm wondering if we can... See, we can't, the only thing with this, the BBC Orchestra one, is you can't really adjust you don't have that much adjustment on stuff, so we can't adjust the attack, which I would like, because what I might end up doing later is taking this and then just resampling it, and then so I can cut off the beginning of it, but this will work for now. Actually, what we'll do is we might make it really long, so we don't have to worry too much about it, and then we'll do legato again. Okay. Actually, you know what? We may go an octave up. Yeah, that's what we want. It's almost like this one's too high, the other one's too low, but... Oh, I got a new subscriber. Thank you to whoever that was. We're going to hit 1,000 tonight. I can feel it. But, all right. So we'll do this, and then we will... I'm going to throw Kickstart on here. And like I said, if you watch these streams pretty often, you'll know this already. But I mention it every time, and I use this often. But I don't go completely because, like, if we go here, it's too extreme. Like, we don't want that. We want that string going the whole time. But we want to have a little bit of movement where it's even. Just a little tiny bit. And then you notice it here, but once we add everything in context, you're not really noticing that pumping effect because it's not really a full pumping effect. It's just a little bit of movement. There's something I don't like in this. And this, and maybe able to bring this down. It's sort of weird because we're adding this for high end, but we don't want the, I don't know, the annoying high end almost. There's something there's a new plugin I got a while back. What's it called? It's not called, is it called Smooth? No. I can't even remember which one it was. Anyways, it would help us with this, but might even be a little bit too loud. So we just want this. It just builds up a little bit of the high end, even if we go here. I thought I would have had it in there. There's something I don't like about it. We may have to work on it a little bit more, but if we go to tonal balance here, see, it's adding a little bit. So I was a DJ for years, and when I was in high school, I'd listen to my Walkman like really, really, really loud. And, you know, people say don't listen to music too loud. And honestly, they're not kidding. Like, listen to them if you're younger. Protect your hearing, because that is one regret I have, because I don't hear. I have to go do an actual test, but I don't think I hear much above 10. So whatever's up there, I'm almost guessing in a way. But anyways, we could tell there's a little bit too much going on here anyways, which we're able to fix in a bunch of ways, but I'll see if I can fix it right on this instrument here. Yeah, we might even bring this one down a little bit above 10K. And if you don't know what this tonal balance does, it basically compares your track to like tons of other tracks, and it figures out where stuff usually is. So this what you can tell here, like that blue line going through, is the average basically of what is in a lot of popular tracks or whatever. So like I'm at the extreme at the low end. We haven't mixed that at all. Like I said earlier, I just took it from straight out from Ableton Move. So there's been no processing done to it, nothing there. But it is at that extreme. Like we'll have to deal with that low end if especially if we add anything there. But you can tell like everything's pretty filled. This is where I always have an issue, and you'll notice this on my streams. Hey, Sky Guy's Quest, nice to see you. And what you'll notice, this is where there's always something missing there, and it might be a little bit on the type of music I'm doing too, but usually like 1500 to maybe 4K, but it's always a little bit lower. Like I have to fill that area out. But because I tend to do a lot on the low end, so I'll have the kick and the bass working hard there, and then the high end I use, as you guys know, my hi-hats is what my favorite part is. So I put a lot of work in the hi-hats, and I like to have those like coming out clearly, but so that fills up here, but there's something here that's always a little bit low. But it almost looks like there's something going on here, and I'm not even sure which track it's coming from. We might be able to might have to solo a couple of these. Oh my, it's not even loud enough to pick up the signal on here. Okay, so this is what we're gonna have to do. Like we're gonna have to take some of the low end here because it's probably fighting a little bit with the bass and the kick, but this is the one here that I have a feeling is where part of our problem is coming from. So I might even just do this just to see what's going on. Yeah, see, we definitely don't need that low end in this here because, yeah. And can I just say, like, how much I love the fact that we could work on stuff on Move and start it there and then bring it in and keep working on it. Like, it's just so nice to be able to do that. Like, I'm so used to having to do everything on the same machine. Like, and what I was looking for before I got the Move was actually, I was looking at a little, like those Korg little drum machines that you can use. I wanted to use something like that just so I could sit on the couch and just like work on patterns and stuff. But it didn't even have MIDI out. Like, it would have been a lot of work to get it from there into Ableton Live. And just, I don't know. I just love that with Move, I was able to create this. The actual effects that were on there just came with it directly. Like, I don't know. It's just nice to have. So, yeah. And then this. And I don't usually do my drums like this. And I will probably split them out. Actually, I might even do that now. No, I'll do that later. But I tend to... I generally do my drums separately. Like I'll do the kick, the snare and clap, and then the hi-hat and then the percussion all separate, like on separate tracks. And so it's rare that I have it, like it's rare that you'll see this on the drums unless it's on the group itself. It's weird. On their own, they don't sound like much, but once we put it in context, we have to work this, yeah, these drums, like, that kick, we gotta fix this. I'm gonna do that now because it's bugging me a little bit. There's no oomph to it. and just okay. I wasn't expecting this to do that much, and we don't want it to be like, especially in something like this, we don't want it to be like too subby. Like we don't want a really, really strong kick because it's part of the track, but it's not carrying the track. It's not like if you're listening to Big Room House, but there's one plugin that I just love on low end, and it's this TE100. I won't put it on the whole thing though. We're just going to put it on the kick here because it's going to do too much if we throw it on the whole thing. So it takes a little while to get used to, but basically we're going to, from 60 to 500, we're going to boost that a little bit. And then there's a low boost here. We'll go 85 in just a bit, but sometimes, yeah, see, I was going to say sometimes a little goes a long way. And that's the thing. Like now it's too much, like, and we don't want that. It brought. Yeah, you know what? This kick is too long. I think that's what our issue is. So see, I don't usually use this. I usually use simpler. Can we switch this out to? Because I want to shorten it, but you can tell now it's fading. It's not fading. It's just cutting. So we're gonna have to. Okay, we may need to split these up. Anyways, I don't know if you guys know this trick, but if you want to split up, I'm gonna unsolo this. So yeah, maybe. I don't want to have to split each one out, but if we take this here, let's move the hi-hat out of the way first. So this closed hi-hat, if we do create a new MIDI track, and we go back here, you take this hi-hat closed, you drop it in here, and you can tell it. First of all, I created your MIDI track of what you had here, like what was playing here, and it actually moved the sound into its own drum rack. So, and then you can tell this is without the hi-hat, and then as soon as we add it back in, oh, we got it soloed, but so it moved it over, but it actually moved the MIDI with it, which is fantastic. It's just a little, I don't know, a little thing that makes it just so much easier. It's just, yeah, we gotta fix up this drum. And I haven't used this is the new drum sampler, and I haven't used this very much yet. Because what I would usually do if I wanted to be really, really lazy about it is I would go and take Kickstart 2 here, and if it was just the kick, what I would do is I'd throw it on here, and then let's just solo the kick. If we don't have Kickstart on at all, it's like this. But then if we turn Kickstart on, we don't want this setting here because it'll sound weird. Like it's just cutting at the beginning. But what we want is these here, where it'll just make it short. See, and that's pretty well exactly the sound we want. It's just that to do this, we have to split everything, like move everything else out, because once we do this, see, it's making everything sound weird because it's affecting all of the sounds. So that's not how we're going to do it, but that would be a nice way to be able to do it. There's going to be a way to... There's got to be a way to fade it in here. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. Okay, you know what, we'll worry about this one later, but it's almost like it's a little too loud now probably because of this T100. Where is it? Over here. Yeah, you can tell when it's off, and then as soon as you throw it on, it's just hitting the reds a little bit too much. So I hate to do this so early on, but we're just going to bring everything down a little tiny bit. And let's throw something on here just to see what we're looking at. Obviously, we'll usually master stuff at the end, but I'm just going to throw ozone on here just to bring those, just to glue everything together a little bit while we're working. I tend to do this, and then it just makes it a little simpler at the end. I'm just going to go, wait, isn't there... There's a disco one that I see that's a really nice start if you want to, if you're doing this type of music, I find. Yeah, one thing I can tell is there's definitely something missing in these. No, I don't like that on here. Let's try. Yeah, there's something missing. It's everything's too dry. Okay, this can work. But it's too dry, so we'll have to throw some reverb on here. That's weird because it's hitting me now because I started this in Move and I just brought it directly in. It didn't use my regular template, and I was trying to figure out why my return tracks aren't there. So yeah, so I'll have to add those manually. You know what? We're gonna go with ROM again because it just sounds so good. Okay. So if you're using a return track, you always want it on 100%. And let's try on some of these. Might even, the hi-hat could be sent a little bit to the reverb. Let's see what we have here. It just helps to fill out the sound a little bit. And then the other one, maybe we'll throw an echo on there. Audio effects. Oh, no, not there. We want this on the other one. And we're just gonna, it'll just help fill things up a little bit. So I don't know if we want much of the hi-hat on there, but the other instruments we'll throw on there. These already have some delay to them, so we don't want this too high. It's just to add a little bit of an extra, I don't know, it just helps to fill the sound a little bit. So, and I don't know, yeah, we won't throw it on the string, but, and then this has to be at 100%. I don't know if you can tell the difference when it's, can't really tell the difference, but it just helps to fill things out a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna have to reduce that kick first of all, because with the new effect. Oh, hold on. I just realized we had that soloed, so most of the drums weren't coming through. This hi-hat is too loud. I can tell already, feels like there's too much low end in here. We're gonna have to EQ some of these out. If you just got here, these were taken, like I started this in Ableton Move, so there's no processing on them at all, apart from some effects. Like this one has a saturator and where's the? I thought there was a second one there, EQ8 I added here in the kickstart we're not using. But anyways, they haven't been EQ'd at all. We're going to go with the EQ8. Throw that right on. feels like this hi-hat is having a tough time breaking through. And I'm wondering if it might be this string. So what we're going to do is this. I'm going to throw some sidechain compression on here. Just this one here. It's not named, but that's what it is. So we're going to bring this up, the attack down. Release should be okay. If we put it extreme, that's where each hi-hat is. And actually here, let's so it's moving that out of the way when the hi-hat plays. We don't want this that extreme, obviously, but all it's doing is I have this, so it's not as noticeable. We just want to move it out of the way a little bit, just to create a little bit of room, especially because they're both in that higher end, right? I find this a little too loud. And then there's something about this vocal. It doesn't cut through. Again, it could be an EQ thing. It could also be, let's just see what we have here. Yeah, there's way too much going on. So we definitely don't need below, let's say 120 here, around here. And then we're going to bring this up a little bit. I hear a little bit of a little sibilance that may not need to be there, but okay, so we did that, but now it's a little bit too loud. And I don't know like how much of this was processed in the first place, right? I'm gonna try something, but I have a feeling we're going to remove this after. So we're just going to try this vocal strip here. This tends to add a whole bunch of extra stuff that we don't want, like reverb. Okay, so the reverb's off. And yeah, so we're going to try this, but we're going to try it before the reverb, and we're going to have to adjust the output just to match it here. So okay, that does bring hold on, let's very forward vocal maybe. It's weird because the compressor doesn't even look like it's doing anything. Like it's almost like it's not. Okay, you know what? We're gonna forget about this. We're gonna compress it ourselves. So I'll load this up here. Actually, you know what? We may even start with the brick wall. Okay, so this isn't affecting it at all. Let's see here. Okay, so we'll obviously have to bring it down. We'll bring the output down just to match it. Okay, so I don't know if you can. So this is with and this is without. It's almost like, I don't know, it just feels like it's a little, I don't know, the word is rowdy. It's weird. I was looking for the right word last time and I couldn't think of it. And then like a few hours after I finished the stream, I was like, that's the word I was looking for. And yeah, I can't think of it again. But okay, we're going to throw this on. Okay, I do like what that does. We might bring it up a little tiny bit. No. And you shift just right. Okay, so we've got the strings, we've got these. I'm wondering if maybe some sort of a piano, but let's try. I can go with try this one here. It's just Waves Electric Grand 80. There's 80, the 88, and the 200 or whatever, but actually that's sort of the melody I would want. Hold on. We don't want any of these. I was just testing it, but these might work. We're going to quantize this and see what... Why did this speed up so much? It's weird. It's weird though, because there's latency on this. I'm noticing a lot. It says 2 samples, but it sounds like more. We don't have any other effects on it. I just want to see if we have the same thing on the other one. Maybe it's just the track. It's weird. This one here has latency, but it really shouldn't because... Anyways, okay, let's see what it sounds like. Okay, we're obviously going to need some effects on this, but I don't hate this. Is this coming out really, really loud for you guys? Because I'm noticing now... Oh. Okay, this may have been really loud for you guys. Hold on here. Got stuff in the way. Okay, I'm really sorry if that was super loud and distorted. I'm realizing that I added the second screen for the subscribers up there, and for some reason it's actually adding the audio from that for some weird reason. So yeah, anyways, I'm sorry if that was really loud. Okay, we need some effects on here. I'm wondering if Supermassive might be too extreme. Another plugin that's absolutely free and that's, well, I was gonna say worth every penny. It really is, but yeah, this is a fantastic plugin and it won't cost you anything. Okay, that's not what we want as an effect, but let's just play around with some of the presets here and see. Yeah, no, you know what? We're not going to use this one for this. Let's do the same thing we did earlier. We'll add... Actually, ROM we have on here, so I might be able to send a little bit more of it there. No, we're going to do our own here. So I'm going to throw ROM on here, low, and then we're going to do a delay. Do we do the delay? Yeah, earlier I think we did the delay after the reverb possibly, which I don't usually do. I usually like to have the delay before. Okay, so the audio effects here, delay here. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing with this piano is there's way too much low end. I want it to be a little brighter. So I'm going to do this, and I didn't even adjust like whatever it loaded up. So we're just going to go here and see, either look at a preset or see what we can do to just, here, we'll bring the treble up and the mids up a little bit. and we got rid of the lows. Oh, it's too muffled. Let's try a couple of these. Couple of these presets maybe. Lobby piano. No. Okay, I'm gonna try a few of these, and so they have a lot of warmth and a lot of body in the sounds, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm actually looking for, you know what, I may switch it out completely for I'm just trying to think here. We should be able to, I want to try electrics, this here. Let's see if we switch it out, what this will sound like. Yeah, see, this is more the sound I'm looking for. Again, I think there's too much low end. Let's see if we can. That might be a little too far. Okay, anyways, this might work. Just blends in. We need a little bit more reverb though. I just want it to sort of be almost faded in the background. Okay, we're gonna need this. I want this note, but not this sound. May have to. Oh no, not audio. We're gonna do. I always hate to add a whole plug-in and sometimes a chain just for one little tiny sound, but okay, we'll have to. I'm gonna replicate this because we technically want the same instrument. Like I want it to sound like it comes from the same instrument, but just that higher note, I just don't like the. Yeah, this is what. That's what we need. So. Let's just record this. Oh, we're a little late on this one, but probably here. And we're gonna bring it down. Just have it. Okay, so let's pretend those two pianos are the same one. Yeah, there we go. Might want a touch extra. There we go. I'm noticing the drums are a little. There's one. I don't know if it's a snare. There's something that's bugging me. Okay, we're gonna bring it all down a little bit. Again, if you guys weren't here earlier, this is, we separated out the, where is it now? Yeah, there we go. We separated out the, oh, there we go. We're dealing with the wrong drum. We separated out the hi-hat from the rest. And I'm going to separate the other ones out. It's just because I started this on Move. It's all in the same drum kit. And I'm using 5 or 6 different drums, so I want to put each one in the lane, or like the snare and the clap I combine together. But okay, it's that clap that's a little too loud. So let's just bring this down a little tiny bit. Oh, I know what it is. It's this that's bugging me. This hi-hat. No, maybe not that one. There's something hitting at the same time. might just be... Might... Yeah, it's this hi-hat that bugs me. I think it's too loud, because if we mute it... I think it's just too close to the other instruments. Let's see if we can... Because it should be this one here. Let's see if we can move it over a little bit. Nope. It isn't actually that. That's annoying. It might just be that that snare might be just... Something's bugging me, and I hate when I can't find what, like, the exact thing it is, but... Let's see here. Might have been that. That's a little... Yeah. Like I said earlier, these aren't, like, the drums aren't processed at all. A few of them I added some EQs since, but I'll have to work on them individually. If we were to... Okay, you know what? We're going to have to move this back because it sounds weird now. I was trying to move that out of the way, and it turns out... Yeah, it just sounds like it's jumping now. Okay. See, I could put it here. Not bad, but I don't like having too much stuff one built over the other. What I might do though is, oh, sorry about that stuff in the way up there. What I might do is I'm gonna check to make sure that this... Okay, we're gonna bring the snare... Yeah, no, we have to keep that moved over, but I'm wondering if we might have to do a little bit of EQing on either the snare or this hi-hat. So let's see what we have here. On the hi-hat, there is an EQ. Okay, that's already moved out of the way as much as we can. Let's see if the snare, I think there might be something weird with the snare. So let's go here. We'll EQ this. Yeah, see, that hi-hat is busy. So you can tell, like, all this low end, not the hi-hat, the snare, but if we just solo this, it's got all of this stuff we definitely don't need over here, especially something that's playing over a kick drum. So that might help us just move stuff over a little bit. And then actually, no, I won't. Oops. I won't raise it. I was going to bring this up a little bit to hear it a little bit more, like where either the body here, but yeah, I feel like we just want it to blend in. Like I don't want the snare to be too noticeable. I just want it to blend in. The way I like to use snares is basically just working with the kick drum where it's just making the kick drum sound different. You're not actually noticing the snare necessarily, but... And then this hi-hat here. Yeah, this is in the wrong spot. Let's see if we can... Might have to move it way out of the way. This is where the other one is, but let's see. Something weird about... about this that... Okay, anyways. I don't want to focus too much on that one specifically, but... bring it down a little bit even. Okay, so we never even really looked at the bass. So I'm just gonna throw kickstart on here. Just to make a bit of extra room for the kick. Just the transient of the kick. I don't mind if they're playing together, because the kick isn't very long, and we're actually going to shorten that kick anyways. But I just want that transient to be just that kick. And we're not going to do a whole lot to this, but I'm gonna throw some EQ on here a little bit. And I want to try... is it Vitalizer? I haven't tried the new one yet, and so I got this plugin. I think it was last week. I don't even know if I have loaded it since. So, yeah, activation required. So, I guess I haven't even used it yet. Okay, let's activate this. We won't be doing too much with it, but we just want, I just want to use a little bit of the compression, and I want to make just smoothen out the bass, smooth out the bass. Yeah. And there's one of these that we have to turn up process. Otherwise it won't be doing anything. So I don't even know if it'll make a difference. Let's just, without. Oh, you can really tell when we go extreme with it. You can really feel it. But I think what we might need to do is get rid of a little bit of the transients. I'm wondering if there's anything here. Okay, we'll just go on drift itself. And I wonder if we were to bring the attack up just... We don't want it too extreme, but... There's this, but now it's almost too strong. Yeah, we don't want it too extreme. Like, it's almost overdriven, and we sort of want the opposite of that. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, it's too much. It's almost too noticeable now. It's weird. If we I go back to before I even added this. And I think we may just want to filter this out a little bit. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to add an auto filter and see if we can. You know what? I like it the way it was. So we're going to forget about all that. This kickstart helps, but I feel like it's removing a little bit too much, but That's what happens when we have the bass hitting at the same time as the kick. Like there's stuff I'll do sometimes if we don't move it out completely, is if we go and we just solo this and solo this. If we figure where, yeah, you know what, this kick is too long anyways. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna throw a transient shaper on here. I updated this today, so I hope it works. Okay. I'm gonna throw a transient shaper way at the beginning of the chain here, or maybe might be able to do it right out of the, okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to reduce the sustain. Okay, so this is really the wide we want. We're not going to go too extreme, but just because we want that bass coming from the bass, not from the kick drum. I feel like we have to bring that bass out a little bit. I'm wondering if... see, I don't want to go too extreme, but I'm wondering if we added roar, just add a little tiny bit. Yeah, there we go. It's sounding already. You can tell it's filled a little bit more, but okay. This here, I don't think we really did a whole lot to this, just these little chords. No, actually this is straight out of Move. Move had the wavetable, the delay, and the reverb, and then let's just see. I have a feeling this is probably, yeah, see, we're dealing definitely with these very, very low frequencies here that we really don't need. So get rid of those first. I'm not sure if in context. Oh, hold on. We still have this kick soloed, so. Okay, so this is the one we're working on. If we bring this up, we'll have to bring it down in the mix because I like the sound of it if we're adding a little bit there around 1K, but we'll have to bring it down a little. There we go. I really like that sound. Like, and I like the exaggerated delay on there. Again, this one has no extra processing besides what came out of Ableton Move. Get rid of some of the low end here, just so not everything's not fighting with each other, but we're not going to really change a whole lot there because it sounds nice. Okay, so I'm happy with this the way it is. Maybe we'll do a little bit of arrangement before we go. And okay, it works out well. Everything's in the same scene. So I'm going to switch the push and let's just see what. Okay, we're gonna get rid of the string. Where's the string here? Okay, we're gonna have to to do some EQing on these these drums, but anyways, I'll split them out later and EQ them individually. Let's see. What do we? Okay. So let's just. To add a little bit, like make that not sneak through all at once, but I always like doing this a little bit, and then it gives us a little bit more to work on. Like, this is the beginning of the arrangement. I'm gonna remove the vocal in that middle part, and then if we go here, this is what we're recording right now. Okay, so it sounded a little bit choppy, but I like to do this first, and then we have sort of a working canvas here to basically do the arrangement a little bit better. Like, there's some stuff here. There's something that went on a little bit too long. Might be this one here. Yeah, that vocal. Maybe this. I'm actually going to mute the vocals in this part here. It should have the notes right at the end. Okay, so basically from here we're able to arrange it and do a little bit of variation going through. But I think that's where I'm going to leave it for tonight. And yeah, I think it'll work as something once I fix it up. Especially these drums, like that's really the thing with bringing it in as a kit. I never liked doing that, but like I said earlier, it's from Move, so we're limited to 4 tracks, so I'm definitely not going to split up the drums onto different tracks on there, because then there's no room for anything else. But I like how this has been turning out. Like, I think this will work as a track. So another one to add to the list. I'm like reorganizing all my tracks, and I'm realizing I had moved everything into Trello, and then now I'm doing tags instead, like right in Finder, like, and yeah, so it's a big project, and I'm realizing how many unfinished tracks I have, so I don't know why I'm starting new tracks instead of working on the ones I have already. But anyway, this is a new one from today. So okay, well, yeah, thanks for watching, and thank you so much for those the subscriptions I know we're getting close to 1,000, and I really appreciate you guys following what I work on. I love doing this stuff, and I've got an Ableton Move video I'm working on. Actually, a couple of them, but one of them's a little more complicated, so it'll take a little bit longer. But I've got one coming up very soon, and a whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole lot of new stuff coming out too, and like I mentioned earlier, I want to do a Drumazon and TR 909 is it shootout they call them, the what, sort of versus video where we'll get points on each one, and the final score actually surprised me, so I think it may surprise you as well. So yeah, so anyways, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it, and thanks for everybody who chatted. Thanks for everybody who, even if you're lurking, you don't say a word, I appreciate you so much. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.